Welcome to Tarot's Landing, a place where we explore tarot old and new, the classic threads and the strange living myths that keep weaving themselves into our lives. Settle in, take a breath, and let's see what wants to be known tonight. A quick reminder before we begin. Not every reading is for everyone. See, if something here speaks to you, if it feels like it's describing your inner weather, then you're in the right place and you're warmly welcome. And if you feel this message drifting away from you, no worries at all. Trust that. Let it pass like wind through leaves, and we'll look forward to seeing you next time. The vibe I'm getting is quiet, powerful thresholds. The kind of guidance that doesn't shout but keeps returning, through patterns, through timing, through the moments you can't quite explain. There's a sense of something long held beginning to loosen, a door that opens only when your hands are steady enough to receive, and alongside that, a sharp edge of clarity. Truth that wants to be spoken cleanly, without cruelty, without delay. We'll move gently, but we won't stay foggy. Let's begin. Alright, so this first card coming forward is Moonwell. And immediately this tells me we are not starting with something loud or obvious. We're starting with a deep inner threshold. This is a card about reflection, intuition, memory, and the truths that don't arrive in a straight line. They come through feeling, through repetition, through the thing that keeps returning when you thought you were done with it. For some of you, this says you are standing at the edge of a very important emotional or spiritual realization. But the message here is don't force it. You do not need to name everything today. In fact, trying to pin this down too quickly may distort it. Let it breathe. Let it reveal itself in layers. I'm also feeling that something from the past, an old desire, an old grief, an old version of yourself may be rising back up, not to haunt you, but to be understood differently now. There's wisdom in what keeps resurfacing. So for this first position, Moonwell says, listen closely to your inner tides. Watch your dreams, your synchronicities, your emotional spikes. The guidance is here, but it's speaking in symbols, not commands. Okay, and this second card is Open Vault. Beautiful. Coming right after Moonwell, this feels like something that has been jesting beneath the surface is now beginning to find a real, tangible opening in your outer life. Where Moonwell was saying, listen, reflect, don't force clarity. Open Vault says, something is ready now. A resource, an opportunity, support, recognition, even money for some of you, something that may have felt delayed or sealed off, is starting to loosen. And I want to say very clearly, this does not feel like random luck. It feels earned or at least divinely timed, like something was being protected until you could actually receive it well. What I really love here is that this card is not about grabbing. It's about allowing yourself to say yes, allowing yourself to accept help, accept abundance, accept the door opening without immediately questioning whether you deserve it. So if the first card was your inner knowing, the second card is the material echo of that. What has been held back may now be released. Just be mindful. Take what is nourishing, what is stabilizing, what is truly yours. This is not about excess, it's about rightful access. And for many of you, that is a profound shift. Alright, and now this third card is the Knight of Swords, and wow, this is where the energy sharpens. After Moonwell and Open Vault, where we were moving through intuition, timing, and receiving, this Knight says, now something needs to be named. There is a truth here that has been circling, and I think you already know it. You may have felt it in your body before you could explain it in words. But this card says the fog is thinning, and with that comes a moment of decision, conversation, or clear action. For some of you, this is a message, a boundary, a hard question, or a choice you can't keep postponing. And I want to say this doesn't feel reckless, it feels necessary. The danger is not honesty here, the danger is letting things stay vague for too long. But the Knight of Swords always asks for precision with care. Yes, speak plainly. Yes, move forward. Yes, cut through confusion. But don't use truth like a weapon just because you're finally tired of carrying it. So this third position feels like what was sensed inwardly and what is now opening outwardly must be met with courage and clarity. Ask the real question. Say the real thing. Take the clean next step because momentum is here now. So just to pause and gather the thread here, this reading is moving from inner knowing to outer opening to clear action. First, Moonwell asked you to trust what's rising beneath the surface. Then, Open Vault showed that something real is beginning to open. Support, access, permission, a long delayed yes. And now the Knight of Swords says the moment is coming to name the truth and move with it. So, where we're heading next, I really want to see how this opening wants to unfold and what you need to know to meet it well. Okay, and this fourth card is Golden Offer, reversed. And honestly, I really like seeing it reversed here, because this tells me there is protection around what's opening for you. After Moonwell, Open Vault, and the Knight of Swords, you might be approaching a real opportunity. But Golden Offer reversed says, not every open door is your door. Something tempting, convenient, or too perfect may be appearing alongside the genuine blessing, and this card says you are either beginning to see through it or you are being asked to. This could be an offer that looks shiny but comes with hidden cost, loss of freedom, loss of peace, loss of integrity, or just a path that gives you the outcome without the growth. And reversed, the message is you do not have to take the shortcut. In fact, for many of you, yes, saying no is the power move. So if the Knight of Swords is asking for truth, Golden Offer reversed says use that clarity to read the fine print. Slow down. Ask what this would cost you long term. Ask whether this supports your future or just soothes your urgency. This feels like discernment. A real blessing is opening, yes, but this card says don't confuse rightful receiving with seductive compromise. You are being guided to choose what is sustainable, honest, and truly yours. Alright, and this fifth card is Forest Clearing, and this feels like the landing point of the whole reading, because after Moonwell, Open Vault, the Knight of Swords, and Golden Offer reversed, what we arrive at here is clarity. Not noisy clarity, not forced certainty. Just that unmistakable moment where the path stops twisting and you can finally see what is true. This card tells me that you are moving out of confusion or out of a season where too many emotions, too many options, or too many stories were crowding the space. And now the unnecessary is beginning to fall away. What remains is simpler, but also more real. For some of you, this is the moment where you realize exactly what needs to begin. For others, it's a moment you see very clearly what cannot continue as it has been. Either way, if forest clearing says, don't overcomplicate what you already know. There's a kind of honest stillness here. A pause where you can see yourself, your direction, and the consequences of your choices without distortion. And that is a gift. So this final card says, take the truth you've found and live from it. You do not need the whole map. You just need the next honest step. It was a pleasure doing this reading for you. Please subscribe for more readings.